Wednesday, November 21st, 2018, we have a SUMO day at its completion and a new one coming up. So if you're in the forums, if you're translating articles, thank you. If you're writing articles, thank you. If you're creating dynamic media content and sharing it with your friends, thank you. I know that some Americans are going to be celebrating Thanksgiving tomorrow, and then I don't know if this is a global thing. Maybe you know, Chris, is Black Friday a global commercial sale? I feel like they overdo it. Hey,
Chris,
we were just talking about
it's
Black Friday, and I don't know if that's a holiday outside of the U.S.
Black Friday as a holiday. Oh, I think everybody is in on the
Crackers.
shopping spree, I guess. I don't know if we can call it a holiday. I don't know.
What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, we didn't have it before, but in the last few years, they've started stores have started putting on Black Friday sales.
Same here, I guess.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon's doing like the whole week or something. It's like there's some places around where I live that they started the Black Friday sale last week. They're like, come get the prices. It's kind of interesting, and there's even Christmas lights out. I know that Diwali was
Yeah.
a there's a lot of diversity where I'm at, so they've got the lights up for Diwali already. So yeah, I love learning about new cultures and stuff. But so we're live, Mihal, just as a heads up. Uh,
Ooh.
yeah, we're live. So I'm gonna hand over the microphone to you if you're ready. If not, we
Yeah,
can.
sure. I was waiting for the usual countdown. Sorry. Okay, we're live. Hey, British is perfect. Okay, welcome
Yeah,
everybody. Sorry for being a bit late. By the way, I mean I'm very sorry for not being available much in the last few days. I've been a bit sick due to traveling and catching all the wrong bugs at all the wrong time, and I don't have Bugzilla, with a bunch of people helping me out to troubleshoot those bugs for my own body, so it's gonna take a while. But thanks to everybody who wrote to me, and thank you for your patience. Okay, so let's go with the agenda. This is the 21st of November 2018, and we are nearing the end of the penultimate month of the year. Geez, time flies.
I
Today
know,
we
right?
have, yeah, right, we have Rachel, we have Chris, we have Alex lurking, and we probably have a couple of people here and there, so I'm just going to paste the agenda into all the appropriate places, as one does. Uh, and yeah, I should not forget the other places that are also very important, apparently. Sorry for that, but we are officially live and running. So, uh, where are we with the agenda? Sorry, clicked away from it and I have to find it. Okay. First of all, we have the roundtable, and we're going to walk you through that. There's a discussion started by Chris, who's in the room, about the sensitive information in the forums. So basically, what it means is any information that's being posted, probably by mistake, or maybe sometimes, well, explicitly by the users, that allows anybody to well, identified people, or basically, I think you provide a very nice definition there, Chris, which is publicizing information that shouldn't be public, basically. So yeah, it's kind of discussing this part, how it should be done or how it could be done. If you have ideas or suggestions around it, if you want to join the conversation, please use the link in the notes. And yeah, Chris, do you have anything to add about this or summarize things or?
Yeah, yesterday Philip brought up a good point, is that we don't have any way of confirming that the information being posted is in fact that user's information as opposed to somebody else's information. And while that's probably not the case, we don't have any way to confirm that. So, like, I redacted my proposal that we should change the rule. We probably should remove everything. But the key piece of information in the entire proposal is that a lot of people are not taking into account that the user probably does not know that their information is being posted in a public forum. They probably assume that it's a private ticketing system. And so it's important to make sure users are aware of that first and foremost.
Very good point to make, because yeah, I mean, there's absolutely nothing explaining to people the nature of the experience that they're having in the forums, and it's not because of our ill will or of our like, we're not trying to trick the users into going like, oh yeah, this is my credit card number and everything else. It's more like, this is a forum, so you're posting things to a lot of different people, so you should know that you're posting in a forum, and we actually do make a point that you're asking the community for support and so on. But I totally agree. Different companies, different support systems can look very similarly to ours, and people could be like, yeah, I'm having an interaction with a customer support agent. No, you're not. So, we should be careful about this, and people sometimes just post stuff straight away, and they don't think twice, which is where we have to step in and say, wait a minute, this is not going to work if you do it this way. So, yeah, by all means, please keep discussing, and it's great to have this discussion. It's very important for the good experience of the users and everybody else as well, because we don't want to get involved in stuff that is outside of our control.
I have two questions here. Is it okay if I maybe just, is this something that you want to discuss further in the forums, or is this the right venue to ask a question around sensitive information in the forums? What do you think?
Both.
Both? Okay, I'll do both, but I have two examples I want to bring, and maybe others that are watching this can think about it as well. So like sync logs. Some sync logs have I'm not exactly sure how the encryption works anymore, but there is like authentication keys and email addresses in sync logs when logging into or attempting to log in, and it does a verbose version. So I would be curious. I know in the past we've talked about pastebin. It was somewhat concluded of a discussion, but I know that people still might find other tools to for the right ways. I would be curious. The question there I would be is like, what are the right ways to handle the private information that might be necessary to help troubleshoot that particular issue? And then the other question might be is like password managers. Like passwords are gone, asking for screenshots of like what's there and what's not there, like sort of like some guidelines around how to navigate how much information is necessary for a bug, like what, and then what channel to start getting that information to someone who's ready to like troubleshoot that, and then like consent, like, hey, did you know that we're going to post this on a bug? Do we make this confidential or not? So I'd be really curious to see what you guys think about that. You guys and gals and they, y'all.
I've honestly hadn't thought about that use case, so I post in the forum and I'll try to think about it further and see what everybody else thinks. The use case I was referring to mostly is just people posting their email address and saying, please get back to me at this email address or this phone number.
Yeah. So that happens in the office too. So there would be letters that get sent to Mozilla. I don't encourage people to do this, as it takes a really long time to get back to you. And we don't have a phone line for help either. So there's no real live person that you can talk to. But I know some people like looking for humans and one-on-one, and I really hope that we can encourage those users to use the forums where they can. In the future, I know that there's going to be we'll get to that later, but yeah, just for forums in general, like focusing, I think, on best practices. I think that's a really good point. Sharing personal information is not the way to go. Maybe there's other alternatives. Like maybe it's a different channel, or maybe it's a, I don't know. I'll share some ideas in there too. I'll pop in, if that's okay, Chris.
Actually, I just thought of something, just a bit of a hack. But if you ask the user to PM you, you can then post that information in the forum thread and mark it as spam.
So no one
It's
can
only
see it?
visible to moderators, but it's a hack.
Definitely. That's a really good point. Why don't you put that in the thread?
Okay.
Because I would love to see like pie in the sky development feature, right? But I don't know. I don't know what it looks
It's
like.
never a bad thing to have, to have outrageous goals somewhere down the line. So
Yeah. Good point.
Okay. Thank you so much for this. Anything else or any last thoughts about this? I'm just checking all the IRCs and all the other Slacks to just make sure that we're not missing out on any information. If not, we're moving on. And I'm sorry, I'm just shuffling here between 5 different windows. So, the cool community news of the week. We had a meeting last week in Mountain View. The team met and we talked about the current state of support, with the future plans. We did some research, summarizing and whatnot. We were talking about freemium and premium products and so on. We will have more information about this coming from Mozilla in general soon. So as much as we could say, oh yeah, we have some answers, we actually don't. We were discussing exactly how to communicate about things, what to expect, what to wait for, and how things may probably roll out. So please, please, please be patient. And over the next, I would say, month and a half, everything will be explained, revealed, discussed, and you will be able to participate in the discussion. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But this is something that will definitely be a part of what we're going to be keeping an eye on, because it's important for us to know what's going on with Mozilla's products as the support team. So you will definitely be informed either by us or by somebody else around Mozilla about the upcoming changes or new releases or updates related to products and the paid model, so to speak. Also, less than 2 weeks until the All Hands in Orlando, which means, yeah, it's like in 2 weeks, some of us will already be meeting there and talking about stuff and whatnot. Looking forward to this. We'll see how it works out. I hope everybody has a good trip there, and we're going to, we're going to have a good time there and discussing all this stuff and sharing a lot of interesting information, which we will be sharing with all of you before the end of the year. So definitely look forward to that as well if you can't wait for the updates. But yeah, there will be a lot of talking, a lot of questions, a lot of summarizing, a lot of note taking, and then somebody will have to squeeze it into something readable and digestible for you. So we're just going to do that after the open. For now, please keep your eyes peeled and stay tuned. And we will still be sharing with you news from different places about different things happening around Mozilla and support. Okay, I'm hopping over to the contributors of the week. So MKLL, thank you so much for your continued support and help in social support. Indeed, our social support superstar number 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, like definitely as a core contributor by now when it comes to social support, and not only. Welcome to Craigas and David. And kudos to the Respond users who are apparently doing really good things out there using Respond. Thank you so much for being there for all the users. Updates and announcements regarding the product and platforms are full of crickets, so there's a lot of silence in there. There's not much happening. We're in between releases. We're in between platform research, so to speak. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the background, but there's nothing that's going to suddenly pop up, and we're not going to be doing anything revolutionary about the platform in the next month and a half, trust me. We're just going to be discussing some things and sharing them with you as well. Moving on to the knowledge base and LTN bits, we've had over 580 revisions in the last 7 days in the KB. So like you're really pushing it hard, dear editors. Thank you so much for being there and editing a lot of the stuff and updating things for many different locales. I'm really looking forward to even more, and you're doing an amazing job. There will be, hopefully, because we're working on this on the side as well, so to speak. There will be hopefully some more detailed reporting around different locales and their performance and whatnot. But yeah, this has to wait until we switch some dashboards around and deploy some new software in the background and so on. So the platform itself is not going to change at all, but there will be some new counters behind things and stats behind things. Hopefully that's going to work out. Ariel and Madalena are working on this in the background. It's not even worth mentioning just yet because it's simply in the ideation phase and we're looking at different options. Okay, the support for, contributors who want to localize new locales. Sorry, I skipped that bit. Thank you for reaching out. So I've been receiving emails from quite a few people for different locales that have not been present at SUMO just yet. There will be a general update or a refresh to the KB locales with a blog post and so on in preparation for this in the around the all hands, so probably after the all hands, just to make sure that we kind of close the door on 2018 looking ahead, but also saying, okay, this is where we are right now with some of the locales, and we're just going to disable some of them, we're going to enable some of them. The core, of course, stays the same. This is just more about reacting to community fluctuation and actions and changing the focus a bit of Elton in general, which is going to be also shared with you after the all hands, because there are some updates regarding Elton globally at Mozilla, the way things are going to be done. So looking forward to that to share with you. And the support forum and social support, Rachel, over to you.
Hey, so I really love to run a couple of names by you to see what you think. The sources aren't always as great in the English dictionary, and maybe your expertise, Vesper, you can help me out here. Like for example, if we took if we took core, right, heart of the matter, nucleus, kernel contributor sounds kind of like a Linux specialist, or the essence contributor, like the essence of Mozilla. There's some other ideas in there I would like to maybe call to a little bit more of an easier engagement action for this discussion. Maybe we can try to think of a different word than top contributor. Because although it is very valuable to have a lot of quality contributions, we want to try to also not encourage any sort of burnout or any sort of so a lot of this came from, so a lot of these ideas are coming from the research, so I hope you get to see more of this as we bring it to the table on the all hands and all the publications and notes that come out there. But this is one of the topics that's going to be talked about there, and I was really hoping that we could get more community members that are not going to the all hands to get their voices in there to make sure that that is heard. So my call to action for this discussion is going to be maybe not, even though it was an opinion piece, maybe we could start a discussion around, let's rename what a top contributor is, and then maybe from there we can talk about so that's going to be kind of the core of the workshop. We're going to have some examples of we're going to have examples of answers from the forums and from social support, and then kind of like put post-it notes on like the different qualities that come out in some of these contributions, and hopefully drive some thoughts around that. So that was a lot. So I'm going to take a step back and just encourage you, please take part in that discussion. I'll update a post after this meeting with some questions that might help stimulate the discussion a little bit more. And thank you again so much for taking part in this to help with a positive outlook on contributions that you guys are like the experts in. So yeah, check that out. The second agenda item is there's a discussion happening around creating materials for onboarding. So Sethu and I think Ioana, I'm not sure if I'm saying the name correctly, I'm sorry, is trying to start building some materials that they can use for their community for onboarding new users. So whether that's a web page or if that's kind of updating the stuff that currently exists, they're looking for some help there. So check out that discussion. Maybe you could share some of the stuff that you have used in the past. Maybe there's some archive links. So just want to please share it there with her. Then I think that's it, right? Onboarding, if you're a community expert or like to say hello, that's it for support. Any questions there before going on to social? Okay, see you in there. So for social support, just want to say thank you for your help in Buffer. Last week we replied to 57 users, and outside of the tool, we had 27 hashtag Firefox help. At least that what I could see in the advanced search. This does not include any private messages or I think you can set your timeline to be public or not to certain users. So this is what. Anyway, here's a stat. Had a great impact. Way to go. We're going to start organizing a SUMO day for the 64 release. I believe it's the 12th, unless it got pushed back. So we're going to have another 2-week sprint. If anyone is interested in helping running that, there were a group of coordinators that helped out distribute to different languages last time. If you're interested in taking up a little bit of responsibility, you can be a team captain, Winky Face, to see if that works out. Do a little mini experiment if you want to work with a group of people. That's easily done too. Just send me your information and I will show you how to use a Trello board, and we can set up some time where we can all meet if that's necessary, or we can work through email, no problem. I look forward to, so far I have Kayam Kumar who's interested. I'm going to send you stuff, don't worry. I know you're asleep right now, so if you're watching this, information is on the way. That's it.
Awesome. This is perfect. Thank you so much. We still have some time to take any last minute questions or comments. I'm going to again check the usual places for any signs of life from anybody. Do we have anybody saying anything anywhere? That is a good question. It's rather quiet online, so without further ado, I think I can just thank you, Rachel, thank you, Chris, thank you, Alex, and thanks everybody for watching who has been anonymous today. This has been yet another community meeting. We're gonna have more content, more ideas, more stuff coming your way next week. Definitely meeting then. And yeah, you know where to find us. Take it easy. Have a great time of day or night, wherever you are. Enjoy.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.